GTH GAMES Lost Media. In April of 2024, a new game on itch.io would come out called Gorilla Tag Horror Clouds Edition, which would be the first ever version of Cloud's Gorilla Horror. And the first ever version was actually pretty big. It had a lot of things, which I will show you in this video. At first glance, we don't have Cloud's bar yet, but instead we have OG Stump. When we get inside of Stump, there are a lot of things, including the Mrs. Dave board saying the Timmies are too powerful. And there's also a single player mode, and also these buttons, which apparently I found out that they play songs. So let me put a tune on to bring you guys back nostalgic vibes. Where there's a will, there's a we, kinda beautiful. And every night has its day so magical. But in this love, in this life, there's no obstacle that can't be defeated. Man, that brings me back. But anyways, they also had this light option, which you can actually see in Cloud's bar today. Anyways, let's check out some maps. Whenever we go in Forest, I saw this huge lava pit, which was actually just a test for the bounciness of the lava for Volcano. And in Forest, the monsters were not actually monsters with bouncy movement, but instead, they had AI path navigation. As you can see, I saw this blue Timmy, which it actually seemed to work, so I just let it jump scare me. And instead of kicking me, it just teleported me to the bottom of the map, which seemed pretty weird, but hey, it's the first version, so. After restarting my game, I noticed this weird hole, so I decided to check it out. And apparently, this led me to the first ever version of Jungle. After going down in the jungle, I noticed these huge, big red monsters that were scattered everywhere all over the map. I don't know what this was supposed to be, but it certainly looks like it was supposed to be kind of like Pixel, because this monster has the exact same textures as him. Also, here's the sound it makes. It just makes a weird heart beating sound, which I found really disturbing. Anyways, let's move on to the other maps. Also, in this version, whenever you look away from some stuff, like it disappears and you can see it. So like, it's kind of like a glitch or something. This right here is the first ever version of Beach. It looked like it was little when you went into it, but whenever you got out of this right here, it was big. Like, look how big this is. You cannot tell me this is not big. So since this place is like massive, we're really not going to check everything out because the monsters are way too far away, so I really can't. But if you look really far into the distance, you can actually see these monsters. Anyways, I'm not going to waste any more time on this map, so let's go ahead and get to the other maps. This is the first ever version of Canyons, and this map I'd say was actually the best map out of all of them. Even though it didn't even have that much monsters, I don't care. I like the first version design. It's really cool and neat. But anyways, I noticed this huge spider monster, so I decided to go check him out. I think this was supposed to be the beta version of Baja Blast, but here's the sound he makes. Ew! Holy! He makes this weird corruption sound, so maybe he was meant to be in corruption? I don't know at this point. Also found this weird locked up place. It kind of looked like a prison. Inside there was a Lucy, and in front of the Lucy it said, "It's too late," with a smiley face. This was probably the beta version of Red Lucy. Here's the sound it made. Sounds like Lucy wants out. Anyways, I also found this monster with a big head and a small body. Really weird, but let's get on to the next map. As I was trying to get on to the next map, I then hurt someone, and so I decided to check it out, and apparently it was Stalker? You're telling me they had Stalker in the game, and they didn't keep him? This is outrageous! Sorry for my crash out. But anyways, let's actually get on to the next map. The next map we're going to is Caves. And oh heck no, we ain't going in there. Get me out of here. Sorry if y'all wanted to see Caves, but my little ass is too scared. So let's get on to the store. This is the first ever version of City. It's actually very surprising how City turned out. Even with the weird floating heads and stuff, who cares? And also, look, it's the old model. It's the old model. Isn't that cool, bro? It's the old model. And I guess in the first ever version, you had that weird neck thing on your neck, whatever it was called. I don't know, that was weird, but anyways, there is this really cool stuff here, like cosmetics and stuff, custom cosmetics. But then apparently I found this weird invisible something, whatever it was. It was like invisible and I couldn't get out, but yeah, that's really weird. But let's go on to mountains. This right here is the first ever version of mountains. It's actually pretty big, in fact. And also there's this weird tree that someone keeps throwing up, apparently. It's really weird. But I really couldn't seem to find any monsters. The only monster I found was this thing right here, this blue Hydra, which I think maybe was the beta version of RGB Hydra. I really don't know. But that's basically everything. So, if you guys want the APK, add me on Discord. My Discord is right there. And part 3 will be out maybe in 1 or 2 days. So yeah, bye-bye! I hope you guys really enjoyed this series.